It is the bodyguard, Austin Green, the undefeated heavyweight prospect. You got a big matchup on UFC Fight Pass, April 23rd. We're just a little bit out, man. Give me the thoughts. I mean, looking on paper, this looks like the biggest fight of your career as far as I'm concerned. Are you feeling the same way?
Oh yeah, it's definitely the biggest fight, the toughest opponent. Like there's a lot riding on this fight right now. The stakes are high. Opponents got a lot of experience. So yeah, this is definitely gonna be my toughest challenge.
I love that, and I love that you're kind of like taking that all in. I mean, is that your approach? Is to realize the enormity of the moment? I mean, obviously there's going to be bigger moments down the road, but sometimes I know people try to downplay it a little bit and say, "Well, it's just another fight. It's just this," but this feels like a big moment.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I like to keep it real. I don't like to kind of play around. Like this is definitely a tough challenge, tough opponent. Like just having that mentality is what keeps me pushing harder in the gym. So you can't downplay anybody.
I love it, man. Well, you're a man of many talents. I got to. How did MMA become a passion of yours?
Well, I've always been a fan, ever since watching Rampage Jackson back in the day. Like he's really watching him was what got me into MMA, which is exactly why I walk out to the cage with the chain, just because, just paying respect to my favorite fighter. But as far as like training, I've always wanted to train, but I just never knew where to go to train. And then I finally had a buddy point me in the direction like a gym to go to, and then once I found that gym, I just been going ever since.
That's awesome. So, did you do any type of martial arts or wrestling or anything growing up, or was it just one day you said let's go?
Yep, just came from football. Was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot, see what we can do, and then been going ever since.
I
Seems to be
love it.
pretty.
So I was say when you got in there, was it passion right away, or was it a little bit like I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
about this, or did you say this is it for me?
No, this was as soon as I started my first jiu-jitsu class, rolling around, just learning. Like it was a pack because like I used to in the football locker rooms, everybody would always tell me I should do MMA because like we'd always be in the back wrestling and just kind of grappling around. And even when I was in the military, like all we did when we was nothing to do was just wrestle around and just kind of have fun grappling, wrestling with your buddies and stuff. So I was always into the grappling and wrestling aspect. And then when I finally started learning how to do stuff, it just blew up.
That's awesome, man. Well, it's going really well for you, but this is what I find interesting, right? I mean, things are going really well for you in your mixed martial arts career, and yet things are going really well in a professional wrestling career as well, right? I mean, you made an AEW appearance. I mean, talk to me about that. It's interesting. You say Rampage is your favorite fighter. I mean, I definitely think, as we all do, of Rampage as a showman who really, could have done amazing things, I think, in professional wrestling. So, has professional wrestling always been a passion as well?
Yeah, before when I was a kid, just growing up, I used to love watching wrestling. And when you got brothers and sisters, you go out on the trampoline, and sometimes you're out there wrestling on the trampoline, just kind of pretending like you're the champion. And so I've always had a passion for wrestling. And once I finally found a school to train at, like that just I took off with that, and then like it's just been kind of going in both directions with wrestling, fighting. Just I love it.
It's pretty incredible. I mean, you're reaching the highest levels of both those two different industries. So, what do you think? I mean, is balancing the two possible? Like, do you train both simultaneously? How do you balance things?
Yeah, I train. So yeah, I do train both simultaneously. Like I normally, like I'll go to wrestling practice. Maybe 2-3 days out the week when I'm not in camp. When I'm in camp, I'll still go maybe like one day out the week, just because it's still a really good workout, like a cardio workout for sure. It like pushes my lungs, so I'll still do that and train. But I'm always like MMA, like I'm always training that 3-4 days, 5 days out the week.
So, let me ask you. I mean, at this level, you can do both. You make it to the UFC. Those UFC contracts. I don't think they're going to want you over there doing any professional wrestling. Like, if you could only do one or the other, is there one that you would like to do at the highest level that means the most to you, or do you want to try to balance both?
I would love to try to balance both if I could, because like my passion is both. So I would love to try to balance both. But I mean, if I had to pick and choose which one, like it would just, I don't even know at this point, honestly, which one I would choose just yet. it would,
That's fair enough. Well, you got options on the table, so that's a good thing for you, man. That's never a bad thing to have choices available. So, the next step in the MMA career, again, April 23rd, Houston, Texas. Juan Adams, 4-time UFC veteran, the Kraken. people will certainly know. Give me thoughts on the matchup. What do you think about him as an opponent?
I think he's a really good opponent. You know, his wrestling is where he's really strong at. You know, he's been in the game a long time, so you know the simple stuff. You know, you're gonna have to. It's gonna be one of those fights where I'm gonna have to dig deep and really like go down in the well and try to. I'm gonna have to push the pace. You know.
Win here moves you to 6-0. I mean, you know, at heavyweight in mixed martial arts, man, you can move up the ladder real quick. So I mean, are you already eyeing like, hey, maybe I can get a contender spot or maybe Bellator or one? I mean, are you eyeing big shows already, or do you feel like you're still in that learning process that you need some more time under your belt?
I've talked to my management a lot. Like I've told them, because I've seen a lot of heavyweight matchups coming up, and I've sent it to my management like, hey, let me know if they need a backup for those. I'm ready to go. Like, so I've been on my management a lot about just trying to, you know, if something happens last minute, let me go in there, or any matchups come available, like I'll take them. Like I'm ready to go.
I love it. So short notice, no problem. Just give me the invite.
That's it. Just whenever, send me the call.
Phenomenal, man. Well, listen, things are going great for you. And again, at this stage in your career as a heavyweight, especially, you know, those big opportunities might be around the corner. So knowing that, I mean, you've laid out how much respect you have for your opponent, how much respect you have for the opportunity. Do you feel like you got to go in there and do something special? Like you got to create that highlight reel moment, that viral clip or whatever that gets the call? Or is it really let's just go in and get the wins, you know, by whatever means necessary?
I mean, I'm just really just trying to go in there and get the win at this point by, like, you know, I mean, I'm always like, if the viral knockout comes or if something happens and I'm able to get like a really nice highlight, like that's cool. But I'm not going in there trying to chase that, because I feel like if you go in there trying to chase that, then that's when mistakes happen, you get caught or you mess up or something like that. So I'm just really just trying to go in there, get the win by any means necessary. And if something big happens, then that's great too.
I love it. Any other professional wrestling appearances planned right now, or do you just kind of wait for the call on that?
Right now, nothing planned at the moment. Maybe a couple dark tapings when they come up, but nothing at the moment. Now I'm just kind of focusing on this fight for this week. Then after this week is over and after this fight's over, then I'll probably start booking some more stuff. But right now, this whole week is just focusing on this fight.
I love it, man. Well, you got two simultaneous budding careers, man, and they both seem to be going really well for you. Maybe it'll be even better after April 23rd. Main event, UFC Fight Pass. Austin, thanks for the time, brother. Wish you the best of luck, and we look forward to seeing where it leads you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.